Hi everyone, how's everyone doing here today? Thank you for watching. Pardon some of the background noise. Landscapers non-stop at work. So, the verdict's in Donald Trump's hush money trial in New York. He was found guilty on 34 counts, which by now everyone has heard about, and we're seeing all the variety of different reactions and stuff like that. I didn't follow the case that closely, so I don't know about the evidence, but a judge and jury of his peers made their decision. A jury of the peers made the decision and found him guilty on all counts. Now, is anybody really that surprised? I mean, I know every people from the right, from stupid politicians, MAGA heads, and, the cult members on Fox, they're all like, oh, this the injustice, we've never seen anything like this before, oh, the precedent. And I saw some of the displays recently out in front of the courthouse in New York. You had, people dressing up like the MAGA shaman, whatever that freak of nature was, and these people that were praying and crying and stuff. To which I would say, in a respectful but a rather blunt way, and that is simple: what the hell is the matter with you people? Seriously, why do I say this? Is anybody really surprised that there are some people out there that look at this person, this cult leader of theirs, like he's some type of honorable person? We've talked about it before for years. He has had a history of corruption, from bad business deals to bankruptcies, failed marriages, to adultery, to constantly scamming and stiffing people. And everyone, the whole thing, just to go back into 2016, it's well, he's not like any other person. Yeah, because he's not a politician. He's almost like a celebrity, this and that you people worship, fans of The Apprentice and stuff like that. He could lead. He's wealthy. The two have nothing to do with each other. So you think Hillary Clinton was a corrupt politician, so your answer was take her out and put in a corrupt business person. The key word is corrupt. So what, is anybody surprised that he broke the law? He's had so many breaks, even here and now, but just growing up, he has been this embodiment of white privilege that we see. So it's after a while, in his own mindset of narcissism and just as selfish and self-righteousness, this guy probably thinks the only thing that can ever bring me down is kryptonite. I'm now the president of the United States. I can pretty much do anything I want. That's pretty what his mind thinks. He said it himself that, he has the right to do all these things, which he doesn't. He can just do whatever he wants. He should get immunity. No, that is unconstitutional. He really doesn't understand what it means to be president of the United States. And now all the corruption with his business, divesting from that and everything from the documents case, just focusing on this trial alone, it's you know what? You don't want to be in that predicament, as I've said in the past. Don't sleep with porn stars and don't pay them off. Don't falsify records. It's just, is anybody really that surprised with the verdict? I wasn't sure how was it gonna go. It could have gone either way, but I can't say I'm all that surprised. Is he going to do prison time? I honestly don't know. Obviously, he's going to try and continue on with his campaign. And if he does wind up in jail, we've never seen this before. And some people are saying the outrage. The thing that gets to me is that this reflects poorly on the country, which the whole MAGA crowd, both voters and politicians, just don't really seem to give a shit about. You guys keep worshiping this guy in spite of all the corruption, and now there's finally accountability, and you guys are screaming foul? What if it was Joe Biden who did the exact same crimes, or Bill Clinton, or Barack Obama? Would you call it a witch hunt? No, but again, that's not what MAGA is about. That's not what Trump is about. It is about double standards. It's in his mindset that he can do anything he wants, and you guys are going to follow up to it. And the fact that you do, that only feeds his narcissism. That just feeds his ego. You think I'm wrong? All those times he was speaking out, against the judge's daughter, where he was actually witness tampering, where some witnesses prior to the case during voir dire process were stepping down. You think if I was facing those crimes, or any other lower politician, or just your average Joe, and we started doing that on social media or in the news, you think they wouldn't throw us in jail? You think they would give us multiple gag orders and warnings and saying, hey, don't do that? No, we'd be in prison. But he isn't. Again, it goes to the not facing accountability, so in his mind, I can just keep doing these things. Well, where do you draw the line? Where do you keep allowing this person to go to? Because even if you deny the corruption, he's out there, getting money off of you guys. A majority of his wealth has either been handed to him or acquired through immoral or illegal means. And he did the same thing during the presidency. So here he is, finally held accountable. And guess what? You know what? If they ever found, like I said before, if they found out Hunter Biden committed even more crimes, charge him. I don't care. Indict him. If Joe Biden, when his administration eventually ends, after he defeats Trump and goes another 4 years, if it turns out there is alleged crimes, because they're always saying the Biden crime family, if a grand jury chooses to indict him, go for it. I don't care. That's the distinction. I'm not out there shedding tears over Joe Biden if he was found guilty of a crime. You guys are worshiping Donald Trump. You know what's going to happen? Let's say, I'm going to give you a hypothetical. It's unpleasant, and I'm not doing violence. What if he dies of a stroke tomorrow? For some reason, all the stress and anxiety of the case gets to him, the fear of going to jail, something goes on in his brain, he dies. Donald Trump is gone. Your cult leader is gone. What would happen? Well, putting the obvious aside about the funeral, the news, the media coverage, and all the social media, guess what would happen? You would go to bed that night, and when you wake up tomorrow, the sun would rise, and it would be a whole new day. And the country would go on. I'm sure there'd be a lot of conspiracy theories and some nut jobs saying stupid things, and some people actually committing acts of violence. I'm not oblivious to that, to the far-right extremists. But I'm saying we're not going to go into a civil war. The country's not going to come to an end. The United States existed many years before Trump was even born. It's not like that ridiculous ad where, oh, God saw what was happening in America, so he made a Trump. No, he wasn't sent by God. He's just born of flesh and blood like anyone else, and he doesn't even believe in God, the church, or the Bible, unless you give him $65, and then he'll give you a Bible. This country would go on. And Joe Biden, he could die of a stroke tomorrow, hypothetically. What would happen? Kamala Harris would take the reins. And then, if Donald Trump, he still decides to pursue it, which he probably will, to try and, avoid some other legal repercussions, he would be dating her instead. And he would lose. The fact that he's facing a conviction is showing in the polls that some Republicans are, losing faith in him and turning against him. And guess what? I think in 2024, there's just going to be enough Republicans saying, I'm done with this. I'm done with the circus. I'm done with the corruption. I'm done with MAGA. I'm done with this whole GOP thing, not getting anything done. Because there are a bunch of MAGA heads, from your Marjorie Taylor Greens to your Boberts, all sucking up to Trump, who can't stop breaking the law. Because he has been raised as this spoiled, rich, entitled embodiment of white privilege. He knows it, so it's just going to keep driving him. When are you guys going to stop and draw the line? And just realize it. I know there's some people that are going to forever be in the cult, and I'm trying to be sympathetic. I'm really not trying to put people down. I'm not trying to get on a high horse. I'm not better than anyone. I'm just pointing this out. That I'm going to believe there's a time where some of them are going to look back and say, I can't believe I got swept up in all that. We're already seeing videos like that on TikTok, where people who were former MAGA back in 2016 voted for Trump, and now just looked at everything on a whole and said, you know what, I'm taking this red hat off and I'm not doing it anymore. Either they don't vote, or they vote Democratic, or they'll vote third party. I don't know exactly what the 2012 election is going to be like, but I'm confident Biden's going to beat him. And I'm definitely voting for Biden. Why? Because I don't want to see another crazy person in the White House. Like I said, you've got an old man who can at least get stuff done. May have some questionable things, and I'm stressing the word may, because we haven't seen a shred of evidence. And then we got Donald Trump, who is a crazy person, who has done plenty of questionable things with evidence to prove it. So no, I do not want a corrupt businessman in the White House. I do not want a twisted cult leader who thinks only of himself in the White House, who encourages violence, who defies the Constitution. I don't want that in the White House. I want people in there that get the job done. I'm really asking you, some of you out there, especially, the Trump supporters, you got to really do some soul searching and ask yourself, is it all worth it in the end? Because like I said, when I ask, what has the GOP done lately? Nobody can give me an answer. What has Donald Trump proposed lately, other than regurgitating the same talking points over and over again? Nothing to do with policy, nothing to do with patriotism, nothing to do with helping the American people. Just all about himself. And that would be a devastating additional 4 years if he wins. We can't let that happen. We won't. Okay? And I'm not doing that so much because of derangement syndrome, because if I hate Donald Trump, I do that because I care about my country and the people in it. The working class, red and blue states. Okay? I'm doing it because I want to see change happen that's going to benefit all Americans and not feed the ego of this never-ending, insatiable appetite of this narcissist. I don't want Donald Trump anywhere near the White House ever again. Let him face accountability, let him go to prison, and let the GOP start to do some serious soul-searching and try and eventually get themselves back on track. It's going to take years. It's going to take a lot of time to do that. Okay? Because again, also, it's not about one person. It's getting all these other MAGA heads out. We don't need Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, or Matt Gaetz, Josh Hawley, or all these other degenerates. They're not there for us. I want people there that are there for the American people. I want there that are people, politicians that are going to do the job and help you. That's what I want. As for Donald Trump, my message is real simple to you. You did it to yourself. You knew what you were doing, you knew what was wrong, and you figured you would probably get away with this one too. Well, guess what? Reality check. Accountability. And if they do it across the board for other politicians, both Democrats, Republicans alike, I said, it's about damn time. Because I know some of you guys are going to bring up all the whataboutisms, to which, as I said previously, hold them accountable as well. You got evidence? A grand jury can make a case? Hold them accountable. So, as for what happens to Trump, well, we're just going to have to wait and see, you know. I'm sure it's definitely going to be an interesting debate if he makes it to that point. So, anyway, thank you for watching. I really hope you understand.